Hello and welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 and ballyspring. Right, so we are pretty much carrying on exactly where we left off in the last episode, and I have missed that one. Yep. And what I decided to do was try and mow this up. I was going to use Courseplay because it's the second field that we need to mow up. Carrying on from that first one we did in the last episode. So yeah, I was going to do Courseplay, but then, well, for obvious reasons really, the posts in the middle on this one, I just decided to do this one myself. I'm going to try though and use Courseplay for the rowing and the baling. Fingers crossed it works. It's going to be tricky though, it really is. Let's swing this around here. This is the beauty of using one of these mowers. You can actually sit in cab for the majority of it and not miss bits, as long as you follow by putting your front right tyre along the stretch, because yeah, they are good mowers, especially for in-cab view. As you can see, we'll be mowing quite happily. But yeah, the plan is technically in this episode is to get this sorted out, mainly get this field cut. We're going to use the tools I've got over there with a bit of Courseplay, and fingers crossed then we can get into that field we mowed in the last episode and do some muck spreading. I think I might go with muck. Don't know actually. Could use the slurry. We've got a lot of everything really. In fact, it's probably better to use the slurry because the muck we can fit a lot more in, whereas the slurry we're getting quite full. So yeah, let's try slurry. It is only a small slurry tanker, and I'm hoping we can do the job. I am going to use the Valtra for that because it's the beefiest tractor we've got. And the 22 bales that I did in the last episode I have wrapped up and picked them up with the auto-load trailer and placed them just at the side of the field. Decided to just place them just here, if you can see. So 22 bales already done. Now we'll make a start on this field. I'm hoping it works. It's just that row on them posts. I mean, I could move them out, but kind of I like the look of them. It's just they can be a pain when using Courseplay and things like that. I'm hoping can sense them within Courseplay, because it did when I tried to plan out the route for the mower, then it just made sense for me to mow myself. Thought it'd be quicker, and I've done pretty well. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly finish this up. I'll do a jump cut in me doing this. I know we've got two other grass fields to get working on, and I'm hoping to use, like I said, Courseplay and everything for all of it as we do some spreading or slurry spreading or whatever it is we end up doing on the ones we've already chopped. And I think that'd be perfect to kind of get sorted out. So yeah, I'll finish this field up and then we'll try our best to use a bit of the automated features within Farming Simulator and see how it goes, I guess. So as you can probably just tell, we've got Courseplay going in both of them fields. I've got the mower out in that one, and I've got rowing in this one. Now it did recognise the electricity poles, so I'm hoping it works. I'm hoping it goes round, and we'll find out. It'll either collide or it won't. But fingers crossed, it works. That's all we can hope for. But we're going to have to focus now on doing some muck spreading. I think that's only right. So let's go and get some fuel, because this is really getting low for fuel and getting bleeped out. So let's get this sorted first. I am hoping that yeah, this works. Have I not got information on for these? Let's just check I've got the settings right. No, that's what we need on. There we go. So you can see the litres going up. Oh, I tell you what though, there's a lot of grass work and it does worry me because I do want to make sure it works right with courseplay, and them fields, they're not easy. They really aren't. They're still going around. You can tell that they're still going around as well. It's the hedges. The hedges are, yeah, can be a problem, let's be honest, but it's realistic. Technically, you're not going to be driving in a hedge. You really aren't. We're getting there, just over the 200 litre mark. I think it is about 220, 240, I can't remember, but it's definitely over the, yeah, about 220, I'm going to say. Oh, a little bit more. I mean, it's our beefiest tractor, but it's still not a massive tractor. We are going to upgrade at some point, definitely. Definitely going to upgrade. I do think I could fit probably a medium tractor on the map. It's not ideal, obviously, but for some of the work we do, some of the fields, I think we can just about get away with it. We need to get to that slurry spreader, so we're going to have to just quickly shift this out of the way. Probably want to put them in, or else it will slow it down. And I'll just plonk her over here for a bit. Now, I've got quite a lot of stuff on lease at the moment. Something I wanted to talk about because I am going to be trying to make use of the lease to buy mod. So some of the stuff's really cheap anyway, so we're not going to see it. I mean, I pay more in maintenance fees than I do on leasing out costs, but I did just get not long ago another item to add to the lime spreader, which was the sprayer for the, well, herbicide mainly. We're not going to be using much else at the moment, but we will use a bit of like liquid fertilizer as well, like we did with the wheat for the whole crop. But yeah, it's going to be something we need to probably look into. Let's just have a look at what we got on lease. So the front loader tool, I have got that on lease, and I can purchase that for 1537. And obviously it's, you know, still probably about the same price, whereas this one, we're leasing this out and we can purchase this for 20,000. And then we've got the sprayer if we did want that, but if I was going to purchase the sprayer, I'd probably get a bigger one anyway, so maybe not, but we're going to need it soon, so I'm going to keep hold of it. Now this is something that I did lease out, and it's not that much money, but really I don't think we actually need it anymore compared to what we did before. So yeah, we'll have a look at that one certainly. Anyway, let's go try out this Marshall slurry spreader. I've actually had this for a while. I do love it, you know, the Marshall kit. I think a muck spreader not long ago just come onto Mod Hub, maybe yesterday from when I'm recording this. So it's a bit like the one that 4D Modding did or has on his website. Pretty much the same. It kind of spreads out from the sides. So it is very small equipment, but I think this Marshall tanker is a good starting point. It's probably not gonna have a big spread on it though. So we're probably going to have to keep that in mind again. But I'm hoping we can get through it. It's not going to be a big amount of fertiliser really, or nitrogen that we're going to put down. And we haven't got the sensor. So, yeah, it's one of them. I will, though, turn on my crop sensor on the front, because that might help me out here. So, now let's see what the button is for that, because I know Alt and B. Let's do that. So that's now on, so that might help us out. But let's start spreading some muck. It's not too bad actually, that isn't. Not too bad at all. I expected it to be a smaller spread, but no, that's fine, that is. And we're doing, the most important bit is we're actually spreading some nitrogen down. You can see that it doesn't take much. We're only bringing it up to the orange from the red, so I feel like we missed a bit there. The animation stopped at least. It is quite difficult to notice it. I did prefer the texture from FS19. It had like a shinier coat to it. You could see it on the ground. It's something that I think Giants made worse instead of better with FS22. I don't know what anyone else thinks, but Yeah, the slurry texture doesn't look as good, but the one thing they did improve on is the tools when like you TED in or anything like rowing up, anything like that. They made that animation look so much better. They really did. It's a shame about the muck. I do think it's just too... Yeah, it's just too... It's like it's not there, really. I mean, looking down on the ground now, you wouldn't know the slurry on the ground. You can tell because it's like darker. And that's about it. That's really all the information you kind of get. So, yeah. You can see there, it's darker, but when you actually look at the ground texture, it is technically just a darker texture of the grass. There's no muck or slurry on the ground. So, yeah, they missed a trick again with that one, in my opinion. Should, I mean, if we can get an improved slurry ground texture, that would be good, but I imagine it's quite tricky to do as a mod because there might be different textures on maps for cut grass and so on. So yeah, because you've got to have the texture for the cultivated grounds. Well, there's loads of different types now. There's tillage and deep cultivation, soft cultivation, that kind of stuff. So it's not as easy as it used to be. But at least we can tell where we're going. That's the main thing. I do enjoy this part of the game. I always used to enjoy it on FS19. Muck spreading, and same with like slurry or manure, either or really. I also think it does help now in the game with the muck because you can actually just manually, you can just drive up to them now and fill up from that as if just press a button. Some people prefer that. I mean, I probably prefer to use a bucket still and would technically do that, but I also didn't mind the mucking out from the animal pens in FS19. I think they've by removing that kind of stuff where manure doesn't really drop in anymore, that kind of just, I don't know, just ruined an aspect of the animals in the game. It made it less hands-on with the animals. Nowadays I feel like, you know, most of the time you're not even bothering too much with the animals, and this is why I love these calf pens, because it means I'm more hands-on, more looking after my animals and that side of thing, which really is my playstyle. I want to do a dairy farm probably most of the time, maybe beef stock. Would like to move into pigs now with this mod, the enhanced animals mod. It does make it even more, it does make it really interesting now with the amount of piglets you get, so that might be something that I definitely focus on at some point soon. Yeah, hoping next, you know, FS24 probably is. I'm hoping we get some information about an improvement to the animal side of the game, definitely. So it looks like he's cracking on really well with that field, which I am happy about. We'll keep driving down this way just so we can have a nose to see how everyone's getting on. Yeah, we've got a problem over there. They've probably slid down. I doubt that's him trying to turn. You can see they've missed bits as well. So that's a shame. Let's just put it on last waypoint, see where this goes, because I'm not even sure where it was. I mean, it looks like it's been trying to do the up and down rows, but for some reason it's ended up in that corner. So, yeah, kind of doesn't make sense. So let's see what this does. Intrigued to know now. The row's doing alright, which I am surprised about, and it didn't hit the sides, and if it did, it didn't get stuck. Where are you going, buddy? And you're doing a full circle now. I think he's lost his marbles. Right, so I think there's a good time for me to stick in a time lapse. I'll get this field finished up, and then we'll hope that we get the bales done at least in the second field. Don't know if we're going to get the baling done in any of the other fields, but we can certainly do the mowing after this in that third field, just so we've only got the one full field left to tackle after this episode, because I can do that one in between episodes, because we need to start focusing on our crop fields and making sure we get rid of them weeds. Right, so there we go. That's that field sorted out. That's the first one all done and completed with the slurry spread on it ready for the next time. So we don't need to do anything with that field now. We can just let it sit and regrow, and then we can make hay from it. Now I have just been watching this guy, or girl, I think it's a girl in there. They've done a cracking job. They actually went round as well and picked up all the grass. So far, I think they've done about 13 bales, and 22 was the number we got from that field. So we're looking like we're going to get close at least, but not quite there. Just to show you the texture, if you just look at that, and then look at that, it's basically just the same texture but darker. And I would really like it if it was just like had some kind of slurry texture to it like it did in FS19. But overall we did well. We shifted about 23,000 litres from the 90 odd that we had sitting there in storage, which does help us out because it was getting quite full. I think if we just focus on slurry we could probably shift it all anyway while doing these 4 fields. So that's great news, that really is, because that's what we want to do. And then winter months when the cows are in, we obviously can't put that kind of stuff on the ground, but when they're out in the pasture we want to try and get rid of it so it brings the space back again that we need for when they're going to produce some more. And if we do ever have more than we can put down on the ground, we can always go and use it at the biogas plant and just make some extra money. And that's the best way to do it. But obviously I'm not going to get in this field now with the muck spreader, so what we're going to do is just quickly jump over to the mower, which is here, and we'll crack on with this. First, before we do that, let's have a look at precision farming just to see where we're at. So this is that's just to look at the fields. You can see that I put 23,500 on the field of slurry. Kind of doesn't mean much, that doesn't, most of the time. Soil samples were at the start of the game. But yeah, let's have a look at the score. 81 we're at now, 9% bonus, and these have shot up. 84. The first 2 categories are full on that. That's great news. So that's nitrogen, pH. Weed control again though was halfway, so don't know if that's what you'd get anyway. I can't remember if you just put down herbicide. It might be. It might actually be. But everything else we're pretty much spot on with. Tillage is full. Just these 2 are a little bit down on the tillage side. Hence why they're probably not 84 and they're 81, but I'm happy with that. That is really good. And these fields will get even higher, and we'll probably be around, I'm hoping we're close to 90 by the end. That to me is an acceptable score, and I'm happy with that. If it means to get more yields as well, then yeah, I'm happy with that. So overall, not too bad, eh? And we're going to make a lot of silage. We should do anyway. I don't know if we get a 3rd cut. I don't know whether to focus on hay, because of the fact that I am actually running more hay in my feed mixes than I do with the silage. I've already got quite a lot of silage and I'm running low on hay, so if I do get a 3rd cut I think I will just leave it for hay. That's probably the best bet. There's loads of weeding to do, some fertiliser to do in the maize fields. Not going to chop maize when it's ready as well. The best way to do that is to chop it probably with a forage harvester and then pick it up like that. But I'm trying to think when the best time to do that is. I know it's not like when it's ready to harvest. I think it's in growth stage 6, so like when it's still green but just before it gets that final stage where it goes kind of like dry looking and changes colour. Yeah, we'll do it in that stage, so growth stage 6. And the whole crop's completely different. We need to mow that, and we're going to mow it in the last stage of growth, and then we're going to use a pickup wagon or a baler, because it's the best way to do it. So I think we'll probably focus on a baler for that, because we want to make whole crop silage bales and store them in that. Yeah, and we'll store them in the bale pad area. So it's only maize really we need to pick up with a forage harvester, and then yeah, then we can put it into the bunker. Just thinking if it's better to do like course play with the forage harvester and I do the carting. I'd like to be able to do the forage harvesting, but I find that auto drive sometimes can be a bit temperamental when you need it there all the time. It's not the best to use with bunker work, like for carting. just because the forage harvester technically it needs a trailer all the time. So it's not like it's just waiting for it to get to a certain point and then empty the tank, for example, on the harvester. It needs to be there all the time. So I might do the carting myself, and then I can put it into the bunker myself. And then I could use auto drive for compacting. I think it might be Corsair auto drive. Can't remember exactly, but I know I haven't used it in FS22, but I did use it in FS19. I'm pretty certain it is actually auto drive that has that feature, because you can set the path light to go obviously where you want it into the bunker. So we'll have to try that out, definitely. I'm sure it's been set up anyway through the auto drive that we've got. Let's have a look, because we have got a really good bunker bay 1, bunker bay 2. Yeah, I think that's... Let's jump over to here. So yeah, what's probably happened here is they've put multiple bunkers in. Let's just do something. You can see this a little bit different. We've got a spaced apart there though, which is pretty good. Yeah, you can see over there there's like 4 bays. So each one of them for auto drive would actually work pretty well. We could set the tractor up in one, then move it to another, for example. I'm pretty certain that we can do that. Let's just change the mode and just have a look. Unload combine, drive, and I think if we get into a bunker... I'm intrigued now, I want to know. I know we should be carrying on the mowing, but I kind of want to know. It's a hefty auto drive network, this is. Massive. So if I bring it here, does it give me another feature? No, it doesn't. I'm pretty certain it does have the bunker. Could actually be Corsair, you know. Could actually be Corsair. Because I know I can tip into them bays, hence why they're there. And it'd be really good, obviously, to use that. Maybe I could try and figure it out. See what the best way to do it is. See if we can test ourselves, eh? And use auto drive to do the carting, and maybe we can then use the forage harvester in these two big fields that we're going to be doing for maize silage, because you can see that the route around the field will help us quite a lot. But I'm pretty certain auto drive has... Wait for unloader. Silo position. See, there's a silo position. Direction to the silo, forwards, and in silo at part position. So see, this is definitely the bunker. Yeah, course play silo work. There you go. It's there. So there is a course play feature for that. And yeah, so it's not auto drive, but there might be an auto drive. But I'd have to check. Like I said, it's been a while since I've tried anything like that with the auto drive. But I think it might be a good idea to use auto drive for the carting, test yourself a little bit, and then we can finish up by using, you know, courseplay to do the actual compacting. Wrong tractor, there we go. That might be a bit of a test, and just to see if it works on this map alone with the collisions on the hedges is even more of a test. But why not? You may as well test yourself. You may as well push the boundaries. Right, so one more field to do. And I think what I might do is actually set a courseplay just to give me a bit of an head start, and just do a load of headlands with a bit of an overlap, just to kind of, yeah, give myself less work to do cutting the grass wires, because obviously there's a lot to do with everything else. I might get the rower as well now in here. So if we just go to this one, we want to create a job, and we're in the wrong field there, matey. This one and that. And if we just up this to like 12, just to see what happens, eh? I know we've got a bit of an overlap. We're trying to not, you know, have as many bits on the corners, but I don't mind kind of tidying up the corners Skipper row, I think we should turn that off because I think it's causing us too many problems. And we've got up and down instead of doing anything else. Let's just see how that... I mean, it's only going to leave that in the middle. I mean, you'd hope that that would be fine. I find that it doesn't have too much of an issue when it comes to the headlands. It's just doing the rows. It's starting to hit things at the side and kind of not understand what it needs to do. So, fingers crossed this will be alright. I think I've gone the wrong way here. Yep. Made it. I've already given it a headache by setting it off in the wrong direction, which means if we're doing that we may as well set this out to max, or at least to about there, because then we're going to expand on what we're actually mowing out to the side. It should stay like that. It'll obviously struggle to get up the hill like everything else does. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into the Ford but take the bale wrapper off it, because we can use this Ford to do the rowing. Now I know last time we needed a weight on, so I'm just hoping we've got a front weight kind of attached already to the Ford. Now it might not be enough, but we can give it a go. It is quite a hefty tool for the Ford to pull along, but yeah, let's just hope so. I mean, it's not dragging on the ground. I think before I felt like the row was quite low with the John Deere. It probably was just how I perceived it at that time, but yeah. We're getting through it though. There you go. I just had the same problem, and it's definitely the weight then. It's definitely the fact that it's too heavy and it's pulling me down at the rear. So I kind of need some weight on the front. And we'll just have to see how this gets on. Unfortunately, it might have the same issue. Yeah, we can only hope. Let's just see what we can set up here. So, number of headlands. Let's go for 3. Actually, let's go for 4. Why not? We'll start work on the headlands. And we don't want anything else over here. Put that down to 0. And we'll see how we get on. First waypoint, off you go, and try your very best not to miss this corner at the bottom, because this is where I think if it's going to miss a corner, it's going to be coming downhill with that kind of tool behind it pushing it. So let's just see if that's what happens. So as it turns right, we're going to just see it kind of go straight on, or left. No, all good, perfect, no complaints with that one. Right, so we'll leave them to crack on. We've got the mower out in the fields. I think that's getting on alright. It looks it. So what we'll do now is, because we don't need this course anymore, we can get rid of that, but we can just go pick up some of these bits, because it's a little bit too much for my liking, that is. And I'm missing out on some bales here. Well, do you know what? If this makes a bale, it'll be worth it, but we're at 50%. Would we fill up the other 50%? And what's left in the field? Probably not, but it looks better, so let's get it done. There's one here. There's quite a bit there. Obviously hit the bale. That one's now rolling down the hill. Wrapper. That's something as well that I probably do want to upgrade at some point, the wrapper. I don't like that wrapper at all. Never have. Find as well with Courseplay. Courseplay hates it. Every time I've used the wrap and bale feature with that wrapper, it just has an absolute nightmare, because it just thinks it needs to grab the bale to the right of the wrapper, which the actual trigger's in the middle, so it causes really massive headaches. And yeah, if I can get one of the new ones from the recent DLC, I think that'll be a no-brainer. Right, so we're at 71% already. We have made a bit. So far so good. Got to make a bale now for all this. And we'll have a look actually how many bales there is. Could count them along the way, but it's easy to just check the menu. That's that one done. There's just a few spots over there. I don't think we're actually going to get to that 100%. Might do. Might get close. Might get to 90. I hope so anyway. There's a bit more down here as well. But look, we've got course blade working, that's the main thing. Like I said, we've got the rower out, we've got the mower out, we've got the baler out. I'm actually getting through these 4 fields quite well. And I think if we can get close to, you know, finishing all 4 of these fields within 2 episodes, that's not too bad. I mean, I'm obviously going to have to do the muck spreading in between episodes and probably some of the baling and definitely the wrapping. But let's try and aim for the 100 bales. That's what I was thinking in the last episode. We get close to like 90, maybe 85. We'll have to see. I'm going to class this as 1 bale because it's 93%. So as soon as we start baling up in the next field, we'll have an extra one. So let's just have a quick look then. What we've done when it comes to the bales. Which one do we want? I think it's this one. There we go. So we've done 16. So 17 you could say with what's in the baler. So the other one was 22. So we're not doing bad. We might get about 80, 90. Depends on the other size fields. That one there is pretty small, but the one that we're working on right now with the mower is actually quite a big field. So, yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope so. So one last thing I want to do before the episode ends, and that is we're going to go and make a bit of money. We're in the month of May, and the best time to sell the wool that we've already generated is now. And we've actually got a really good price. So what I've just done is got Follow Me to bring up this. I'm bombing around. I'm going to go and load it up. Now I did purchase something just, so I leased this item and I got rid of the trailer that I was talking to you about that we got originally for the TMR to put in. But we don't need that now because we're obviously getting the milk for the calves, and I got this on lease. Now this is just really useful kind of flatbed thing. It's really small, and I have decided that I'm probably going to have a little bit of a mess about with this, with it being a base game mod, and I'm going to try and put down, yeah, I'm going to try and make it a Eiffel Williams trailer again, because I am enjoying with adding the logos at the moment. So let's go get these. Now one of the pallets is 5,000 litres because that's the mod that I had on already, but I have noticed that they've been overwritten with, as you can tell, these extra ones which are like 1,000, and that's got to do with the fact that enhanced animal mod has obviously changed with it having goat's milk and stuff, so it was obviously overwriting that mod, which is fine. It just means we're going to have to handle more, and it's already tricky because of the spot that it's in. With this load all, it's just too beefy, it really is. So we're going to have to try our best here. So what we'll do, we'll try and get this just 5,000 on, and then we'll use super strength for the rest until we get like a small tool for this job especially. It's just too big, the load all is for this, which is a shame really, because if they were placed down automatically from that point the other way around, we could do it. Yeah. There we go. Now we can do it. There we go. That's much easier. And the other ones are only 1,000 anyway, so it's not like we're picking up 5,000, we're picking up only 1,000. But three's not too bad. I mean, it probably would have been better actually to place them the other way. Could have fit them across. I might have to just put one on, maybe two on, sideways. And again, we can probably fit two down there, can't we? So it really doesn't matter. But let's go definitely sell this wool, because we should make a bit of money from this. Always something. There we go. Can I actually put the sides down? That would be ideal. No, we don't want to do that. There we go. That's what we wanted to do. We've got it now. We've got it. Let's try this again. There we go. See? Much easier. So I'll go get the other 3, I think it is, and I'll place them down, and then we'll be ready to head out to the sell point. Now I'm hoping it's somewhere better than sell everything. I think I was calling it sell anything, or no, I was calling it sell anywhere or something like that, but it's actually obviously called sell anything. But you know which sell point I'm on about. Right, so off we go. I have checked, and the best place to sell it is pretty much right by the animal dealership, which would make sense because you'd expect them to take things like wool there, so that's good to see. But yeah, I'm definitely going to make this I for Williams trailer. I really am, with it being a base game one. I could yeah, do the edit. And I'm sure, because it's base game material, I might even have permission this time to share it within my Discord. So if I do that, and I use the base game mod to do that, I'll definitely share it within my Discord. So yeah, stay tuned to the series just in case I do end up making this an I for Williams trailer and anyone's interested. Now I just want to make sure, yeah, well, the mower's got stuck again. It's something to do with them passes in the middle. It really doesn't like it with this mower. It really does struggle, but you know what, it's done a good chunk and it's helped us out, so let's just turn that off. I'll sort that out, I'll fix it. Let's go make a bit of money. I think I'll make about 17,000 as well for this, so not too bad. I mean, we've done well really with the amount of sheep we've got to get any wool. So having 7,600 litres to sell is good, because wool is a really good earner. It's dead. It is worth having sheep for that reason. So I like the fact we've got some sheep on the farm. I do want to try and get pigs. I really would like to, and get that slaughterhouse mod and all that kind of stuff, and just try and you know, go full throttle on breeding some pigs and making a bit of money that way, and having like sausages, meat packs, all that kind of stuff. So it's just over there, kind of highlighted it, because I've never actually been to the animal dealership. At least we haven't got to travel too far. I mean, I don't really mind anyway. It's a nice map, and it's a nice map to drive around. But Court Farms, that map, driving around that is very impressive. The details are immense. Right, so there we go. We've just made 17,000 and then another 1,500 on top. So 18,500 really. Only 600. Well, yeah, 18,600 pounds. Not bad going. Really isn't. Brixie just lives over there. No, you're alright, mate. You carry on. I'm just ending up the video. Obviously, he's a bit impatient. So in the next episode, I'll make sure all 4 of these fields have been baled up. Don't know if I've done the wrapping. I will try and leave some of it, because obviously it's a lot of work to kind of skip through. We've done well though. We've got one field all done, and we've spread the slurry in there. The next field pretty much is baled up. We just need to wrap and then obviously pick them up and spread the slurry in that one too. And then this one's all road, so we just got to bale and then wrap and spread slurry. So we're kind of like staggered really well, and then we've just started the mowing on that one. So I'll make sure at least to leave that last field and get these 3 fields done, and get some slurry on the ground in these other 2 as well. So we're pretty much just left with that 1 field then. And then obviously we're going to be looking at our crop fields, maintaining them. We've got, you know, weeds growing. We need to make sure we get rid of the weeds before we probably hit, I'd say, June, just because they are going to grow even taller. And even though that isn't our main problem, because we're going to have to use herbicide anyway, it's more about the fact that we don't want to be doing crop damage. Now, if we go through that on, I think it's all tyres at the moment. yeah, all tyres and tracks will be fine, so we don't need to have narrow tyres on. We can just go through, spread the herbicide, and we can kill off the weeds right now. And then eventually we will go through again with the sprayer. We'll probably do a bit of crop damage then when we're doing our rows for the corn, but we don't need to do any fertiliser in that one anyway, so that's good news because that's the one that's going to make us the money. So we shouldn't have any crop damage at all in that one. But the two feed ones, so our whole crop one over there and this, we're going to have kind of tram lines in. The difference is we're using the Proceed mod for the tram lines in our whole crop field, whereas in the maize we're going to do it the other way where we add them in after. And I think that might work out a little bit better because this time around I can plan it better knowing that I've got to get the edges, which was a bit of a pain in that one, but I did sort that out in the end. But I think on that note, I am going to leave the video there. So thanks for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give the video a thumbs up because that does help my channel out. And if you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one on Farming Simulator.